I'm Dick Charles on the City Planning Commission for about the last 16 years. The mayor, about, close to a year ago, I think, wasn't it, Deb, appointed me chairman of a committee to look at the possibility of preserving the beauty of this city has on the northern approaches on 98. We don't want to let it get into some situation like we see over in Mobile in certain areas where you've got private streets going in, service streets going in, you've got Airport Boulevard, you've got all kinds of horror shows that failed of development, I think. This committee has met 3 times now, starting back in September, November, and late January. And it's mostly landowners along the corridor. Of course, most of that property is R1, as you well know, in our zoning ordinances. And I chose a representative from each of the 4 segments on that stretch, from 104 south to at least Gayfer, and possibly all the way over back to Fairhope Avenue, because we've got cop properties like the ex-Food World, which are standing out there vacant, along with the other small shops on either side of it. And we're concerned that we want to preserve the beauty of the approaches, northern approaches to the city. And we're trying to come up with some plans and some ideas, basically, of what the landowners would like to see out there so that we can build something that people will be happy to support. And we're not making a heck of a lot of progress. We're spinning our wheels. And the property owners, of course, would love to sell what they have out there. And some of them are just looking at it from a profit standpoint. And certainly I can't blame them, particularly in this real estate market. But at this point, what I think we really need is some outside help. And there was a committee from an engineering firm up in Atlanta that was here years and years ago that did some work on the same topic on their own, all pro bono. They didn't receive a penny for it. And Debbie and I talked about this about, what's been almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
To get the ball rolling again on looking at what could be done to preserve the beauty while still providing homeowners and property owners with some issue of profit. The largest one, of course, was Bill Lewis with Seaman Capital. He's got 36 acres out there that we tried to zone, put some apartments in, and it didn't fly. And we had a private meeting with Rick, with the mayor and Mr. Lewis to talk about what he saw. And I'm not sure what we took away from that, Rick. We didn't hear any real ideas of what he wants to do. At least I haven't seen any. But the whole issue is we need to take some time off. Jonathan Smith has done some research. We have feedback from American Planning Association over a 6-year period from 92 to 98. We've got examples of overlay district zoning which could be used, which are approved by the APA, to create a zoning district similar to what we did with the zoning overlay for the hospital. And that took us about 6 months to get that refined. It came back and forth to the Planning Commission at least 6 times. So anyway, what I'm asking you is that we perhaps put a moratorium on this until the planning department can draft that overlay district. And we've got something that we can use to try to build solutions to the northern corridor issues. And well, I had planned to hold another meeting at the end of this month, and I'm not sure we really need that at this point. I'd rather get Jonathan working on that overlay district and give us some breathing room so we can come up with perhaps a local architectural engineering firm to come up with some ideas. The people that live along there and the major property owners, I've asked them for some input. What would you like to see? What would you develop if you were going to improve your property? and we haven't had much in the way of input. So we need somebody, maybe an independent observer from one of the architectural engineering firms to come in, much like we did with our comprehensive plan, and get some public meetings, some charrettes, some ideas from the community.
So what really you're going to be wanting is a moratorium on so forth. Well, why don't you get together with Jonathan then and the staff come up with something and make a presentation.
Yeah.
And maybe at that time we need to have you come back and talk to us more. Once you get the wording of the moratorium, we'll go
The wording of a policy statement.
Right.
And an ordinance that mirrors what we can get out of the APA.
Right.
Well, and I think too, we really need to look at the budget next year to find a planning group that would come in and help us. We probably need to update the comprehensive plan anyway, or at least parts of it. And maybe that same group could help have those conversations out there.